Hello, dear viewers. Thank you so much for joining me for your daily tarot reading. I ask you to choose the stone that draws you, the one that matches and resonates with your intuition, and we'll begin. For those of you who chose the Tiger's Eye, we have the Knight of Swords, we have the Eight of Swords, and we have the Ten of Wands. So these are all minor arcana, not a huge deal. But this day you might be challenged because you might feel like you're trapped in something. You've got a lot to do, perhaps a lot on your mind, a lot of things on your to-do list, and you're definitely carrying around your to-do list in your brain. So this and this together suggests to me that it would really do you a lot of good to pause and let go of some of those things. This is what meditation to me is. It doesn't even have to be that long, but it's sort of focusing my attention on whatever you may envision or feel or sense that is source, and that love, that power, that light. And the thoughts that drift in are what your brain is hanging on to. That's this. And so we put them in the hands of a loving source to take care of them for us. Maybe we say a prayer, we ask for some help with that, and we let it go. Or we just let it go, and we assume that source is taking care of it. And it's a good exercise to try to get good at, because it is amazing how much more difficult things are when we're carrying them around in our mind. Like, I've got to remember this, and this is important to me, and I wanted to figure out that. And, this stuff can go on at the back of our minds and just, make us feel like this. So really, I think that might be good to just let it go. And sometimes people get to the point they don't even need to meditate. They just know what they're hanging on to, and they let it go. And they can just start praying, for the things that are on their mind, and truly leave them in Source's hands, in God's hands, in Spirit's hands. And that is gone then. This is all optional stuff. You do not have to feel like that. You don't have to feel overburdened. You don't have to feel trapped. And the Knight of Swords it can be, you've got your one plan and you're going to just charge ahead with it. You're just doing that because that makes logical sense. And it's good. It's good to focus on that one thing. So this is a really terrific set of cards. For some of you, this Knight of Swords is really going to be about feeling like there's an argument or somebody's argumentative with you. And that Knight of Swords can be what makes you feel a little bit trapped, right? Or makes you feel a little overburdened. I mean, there can be a sort of a sense of sharpness there, or maybe, some people just like to argue. And again, these still are optional. You don't need, maybe this is saying, if that kind of thing happens, take a moment and be prepared for what you're going to do about it. If there's someone in your environment or someone you're likely to encounter who tends to be like that, maybe you decide to skip engagement with that person, or maybe you decide on a plan that will just get you out of that quickly. So these are definitely cards, the kinds of cards Spirit uses to talk to us and let us know that difficulty and stress is really optional a lot of times if we're aware of what's going on and we're prepared and we're trusting Source. For those of you who chose the rose-colored heart, we have the Tower. We have the 10 of coins. We have the 5 of wands. So there's a Tower. Well, you know what? I wonder if it's an argument or something, or a decision, because these 5 of wands, that can be internal conflict. That can be conflict among people who are trying to do something together, because those are pages in training, They're not wanting to hurt each other. Well, maybe a little, but they're in training. This is what they're supposed to be learning how to do. So a lot of times that 5 of Wands energy is competing priorities, competing goals, competing interests. And that can create some conflict. And this could have to do with your family, with this 10 of coins, which if it does have to do with your family, this 10 of coins is a really nice card because it's suggesting you have a level of security there that is just well established. And that's kind of nice and reassuring. So I don't know. For some of you, this is about a turn in an area that needed some work. That's what I'm seeing here. An area that maybe for some of you, this is a talk, something that needed to be hashed out, a decision made. This can be an epiphany, a revelation too within you about this. Remember, this can be internal conflict. So this epiphany or revelation could dissolve that suddenly. The Tower can also be some sudden occurrence that, although your basic security is definitely maintained, it's kept, there may be a challenge in some unexpected event that's occurring now or around this time, and that may create some sort of challenge. But you know what? You certainly weather it just fine. And like I said, these 5 of Wands people, they're just hashing something out so they can go to the next step in their training. You know, they're accomplishing something. They're figuring something out. So it's not conflict that is destructive or conflict that is even unnecessary. Maybe necessary conflict, necessary disagreement it can be. So in any case, the Tower makes the way for something new to come in. And this, I do like this reassurance that your security is still there. For those of you who chose this orange goldstone, we have the Hermit, we have the Ace of Swords, and the King of Coins. So the Hermit is about, sometimes it comes up when Spirit has a message for us, when Spirit is wanting to say something, maybe somebody from the other side, or it can be just, you know, a source whispers the knowledge to us. So it can be that. It can be a sense that if you spend some time alone today, you've been spending time alone, or maybe you're tempted to spend time alone, that would be because the Hermit is saying, you are going to grow in your understanding of Source and spirituality. You know, it's a good day to meditate. It's a good day to be confident that you are growing in that. Sometimes that's what's neat. And then we have the Ace of Swords, which is a revelation. It's an epiphany. It's Spirit giving you some kind of insight, some kind of help in making a decision, some kind of clarity. You know, sometimes that Ace of Swords really is about hearing something from the other side. And I say that because you're with the Hermit here. So that would suggest that maybe today is a day you hear pretty well. You may be hearing some guidance. And it would be logical. It wouldn't be something off the wall that you'd be hearing. It would be something that made sense with your logic as well. And the King of Coins here, that suggests you have built up a certain amount of security that's really nice. And maybe that's deepening, actually. And security can be money. It can be relationships, habits. It can be the character you've built, too, that allows you to weather things with a certain amount of calm here and groundedness. So it can be that as well. It can be health. But this is probably deepening then. Today is what I'm seeing. So these are great cards. There's not a bad card in the bunch. This isn't about loneliness because Spirit is saying, I'm there for you and you can hear me. So that's really pretty neat. That's a nice set of cards. For those of you who chose the green stone, we have the Empress, we have the Ace of Cups, we have the Seven of Swords. So the Seven of Swords is a hidden agenda somewhere, but you know what? I kind of feel like since you're with the Empress and the Ace of Cups, which are two very positive cards, I kind of feel like what's hidden from you, the agenda that's hidden, is something Spirit wants for you. I kind of feel like that really could be, or something you have kind of planned, but you're keeping it close right now. You're not telling the world. Maybe it's something that you feel like could happen in your life and it's going to be good, but you don't want to jinx it. And maybe you don't want to tell people because you don't want their feedback about it. Sometimes at the very beginning when we're doing something new or we're thinking of doing something new, it is best not to tell everyone. Sometimes it is best just to go ahead and experience this new thing and wait for them to notice, so that their approval or disapproval or feedback can't really mess with your motivation. You know what I mean? So the Empress means there's powerful new beginning kind of energy in your life. And look at this, not only that, but Spirit is giving you this sort of opportunity for emotional fulfillment. Maybe you have a moment where you really feel a positive emotion or you feel blessed. This can be a benediction, like a blessing to you. Or you feel blessed. It can also be comfort and soothing if things have been kind of difficult. So Spirit is all over this, trying to help you, I think, and trying to help you to believe in a new beginning. So I thank you all so very much. You take care. Have a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.